Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, as I promised you in the previous video, in the previous recap video, we're gonna be talking about a mistake, if we can call like that I made in the challenge. So I want to break down all the process in order for you to understand what you should do and what you should not do while you are in a challenge, and what should be the process, the overall process, in order to be profitable in the markets. So if you're interested in this kind of topic, please stay with me till the end. Thank you. Okay. Well, in the previous video where I made the usual recap, the weekly recap that I always do, I just announced that I wanted to make another video where I need, to talk about a process that I really made a mistake on, because there is a process in trading where you need to follow certain steps in order to be profitable. And I made a big mistake because I literally destroyed the process and cut the process in half, just trying to add things on my own because I was super confident. And the final result was not really good, because if you have seen the previous video of the recap, you saw that the equity curve is not very good. Why that? Because I made a mistake, and the mistake was to try a different setup. Okay, let's call like this to simplify everything. I just tried a different setup without having tested it. So basically, my how can I call it, my main setup, okay, it's trending market, a pullback. Okay, this is a pullback. I just use the thick lines just because it's better for you that you are looking at the video. And I'm looking for a deeper pullback. Okay, something deeper that sometimes touches the 50 EMA in the entry time frame, or that sometimes can also go beyond the 50 EMA. So let's say a deeper pullback. Everything else is always the same. It doesn't change anything. So I just need always a good context. I need a clean pullback, not too weaky, not too weird, not too fast, okay, not too loose. So a clean sell-off, not too hard as a sell-off. So just a clean pullback within these clean containment lines. So if it's easy to draw these containment lines, it means, let's say 90 times out of 10, out of 100, that the pullback is clean. So I was looking for a clean setup. I was looking for a clean setup in the entry time frame, but usually the setup was deeper, like the last trade, the AX TI trade that I took, that unfortunately ended up to break even, but just made a big run. So this is the kind of setup that I always looked for. But what happened in my mind, why I destroyed the process, why I cut the process just to add something on my own that wasn't tested at all, that wasn't tested yet, that I thought would have worked, but at the end the result weren't very good. So in my mind, and this is something that you don't have to do, okay, you must not to do, is I thought that since the setup was the same, since the pullback was the same, I could have taken not a so deep pullback, but just maybe a smaller one, because the rules, okay, were always there. The context, was there. The general, let's say how the validation time generally looks like was there. So everything was in place. I just wanted to change the setup of the pullback. So I thought that taking in consideration a smallest pullback would have changed everything, but I was wrong at all, okay? Because if you let's say maybe, yeah, you see, okay, this is one setup, this is another setup. As you can see, let's start from the beginning. Good context, trending market, clean pullback, okay, not too wiki, not a big sell-off, a big impulse prior to the pullback. So everything is in place, but this pullback, as you can see, is smaller than this one. So I thought that if everything was in place, just a little detail like that would have changed a lot in my system. So I wanted to try to take into consideration also, let's say, smallest pullback. But the problem, the issue in doing that is that I hadn't tested before. I hadn't tested it before. I didn't run a back test on that kind of setup because I thought it was the same, but it was not. So this is a big mistake. Every time that you need to apply a change on your system, that you need to refine your system, you need to be sure that that detail has been tested in a safe environment. Because the mistake that I made is that I tested that, let's say, change, let's say refinement, on a live market in my trader pool challenge. So this is why you see, the curve that is slowing, going down, because it was break even and stop loss for the most trades, and that was because I skipped a really fundamental, really paramount, let's say, process that was the back test. So I had my data collection, I have my visuals, so my case study, and I missed to perform a good back test on that setup. I just thought that it would have perform well as much as the other one, because at the end it's always a pullback. But that little detail, just as you can see, got me in a drawdown. So this video is about the quality of just a minute, guys, sorry. Okay, it's about the quality of the setup, the quality of the process, overall process, because there is a process in trading and you need to follow the process. I don't want to go in depth in that topic because it's not the topic of this video, but there is a process in trading, and that process should be followed in order to be profitable. So first of all, trading is visual. So you need to understand, to recognize patterns. It's about patterns trading, okay? It's about pattern recognition. So once you have in your mind, once you train your eyes to see the pattern, then you need to understand what system can perform at its best with that pattern. And when I say system, I mean trade management, I mean stop loss placement, I mean take profit placement, I mean break even rules, I mean how the setup has to look like in order to be a good setup. So there are a lot of things going on behind the scene when you need to choose a good setup to trade. And when you, let's say, build a system around that setup, then you need to test it. And even a little detail, a little change could really destroy your system. And this was the mistake I made. And I wanted to share with you that mistake because this is something that almost every one of the unprofitable traders do. And I do it myself too. So I just wanted to share with you because I think this is a valuable lesson for every one of you that is stuck, okay, that maybe can't understand why he's not or she is not able to go to the next level. Maybe every single time you place a trade, the price action goes against you. You can't understand why. You can't understand the context. Maybe everything is in place, but something still is missing. Okay, so this is very, very important. and I experienced, it on myself. Every little change, every little refinement must be tested before the live. So this is the mistake that I wanted to share with you. This is why you are seeing my equity curve, going down. And if you don't know my equity curve, just go to see the previous video, the last recap video, where I show you how is going the equity curve. It's nothing crazy, because I for sure can, improve my results, but it sucks when you know that you have a profitable system, and just for a stupid mistake like that, you now are in a drawdown. Okay, I know that drawdowns are normal, so I'm not here complaining about the drawdown itself, but I'm here complaining that I myself didn't follow the process as I should. And this is paramount, because the process must be followed perfectly. Okay? You need to follow it perfectly. And I want just to apologize with you guys for these mistakes, because it's a really a beginner mistake. Okay? Really a beginner mistake. And so I want to apologize with you, but at the end of the day, on the other end, I'm human. I became profitable, but I'm still making mistakes. And I think that it's valuable to share the mistake that I made with you, so that you can, skip, let's say, some mistakes, some common mistakes, and go to the next level faster. So if you're finding yourself in a position where you don't know what's happening with your trading, maybe you have a system but you can't follow it, just remember that a process exists. You need to have a visual of the pattern that you need to trade. Okay, you need to have data related to that pattern, so the system. You need to backtest the system. You need to forward test the system, and you can forward test on a little live account, or in a demo account, or in a, let's say, in a challenge account, because some props offer the opportunity to test their account with a challenge. So you need to test the live environment somewhere, and when you are able on a live environment, because the forward test is just live, okay, whether it's a smaller live account or a demo account or a challenge account, when you show yourself the results, so that the system is profitable, you can go live. So this is the process that you have to apply for every single change in the market, for every single minimal refinement in the market. And I failed in doing so. So I apologize, guys, because what I'm trying to do is trying to share the best information available out there, but I made that mistake. I shared with you something that I wasn't sure, that would have worked. And in fact, it didn't. So yeah, that is the general mistake they made. And right now, from, let's say, next week on, I will be trading only deeper pullback, because what I tested in my previous testing is the deeper pullback. And I don't know why. Maybe because I wanted to trade it faster, maybe because I wanted to have more setup, but this is another mistake, beginner mistake, that almost everyone does. You should not force trade. You just have to wait for your setup, and if the price action presents itself a good setup, then you can take in and you can get position behind that asset. If the price action doesn't give you what you want, you just need to stay on the sideline and wait. And this was where I failed. So I'm happy to share with you that, because one of the promise that I made to myself when I decided, to start this channel was to be as honest as possible, to share live the losses, the break-evens, and the wins, the lessons, and obviously the knowledge that I was able, with my journey to gather in these 9 years. So I hope this is helpful for you. If it helped, please, if it was helpful, sorry guys, please subscribe. Just join the Telegram chat and ask me wherever you want. You can contact me on Telegram. You can just, leave a comment below with everything you need to know. I will be more than happy to answer. So this is a mistake, and I hope that you can, skip this, go on, and just reach and realize your dreams as fast as you can. Thank you guys for another video together, and we, as always, are gonna see in the next one. Thank you.